The political war in America gets even more intense, if you can believe it, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Following the lead of the White House, the radical left organization Move On is demanding that all good Democrats and liberals boycott Fox News. There's even a petition that says, quote, to draw attention to its biased coverage, President Obama will not appear on Fox News for the rest of the year. Can you sign this petition? Asking Democrats to support President Obama's stance by staying off Fox as long as he does. How dumb. How cowardly. The great thing about America is that we have lively debates in this country. We are free to dissent from power. How un-American it would be to punish people with whom you disagree. Move On is a propaganda outfit which tries to damage those who oppose his far-left doctrine. Move On is not interested in opposing points of view, does not respect well-thought-out arguments from the right. This is simply a slash-and-burn operation that is trying to intimidate elected Democrats. Something very disturbing about the Obama administration fighting harder against Fox News than the Taliban. And now we learn the president spent 2.5 hours on Monday, 2.5 hours, meeting with the far-left media people. In addition, the president, David Axelrod, Rahm Emanuel, Robert Gibbs, sat down with 3 columnists from the New York Times, 2 MSNBC commentators, as well as a variety of other committed left-wingers. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It seems to be a long time, but nothing wrong with meeting with those people. But the White House kept the meeting very quiet. Only our stealthy guys found out about it. And it appears that President Obama has decided that he will cultivate the far left while demonizing conservative Americans. Now, that's a big mistake. The president was elected by moderate independents. There are simply not enough left-wing loons to save him when things get tough. In addition, Politico.com is reporting that the White House is systematically undermining prominent Republicans, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Rush Limbaugh, and other right-wing radio people, as well as Fox News. Again, why is the Obama administration bothering with this when it has to fix the economy, win the war in Afghanistan, and reinvent the healthcare industry? President Obama is making an enormous mistake in associating his office with political feuds, and the irony is he doesn't need to do it. There are plenty of far-left media hatchet men to do the dirty work against the right. Why the president feels the need to get involved is a very troubling question. Talking Points often gives Mr. Obama the benefit of the doubt. But there is no doubt in this case. Concentrate on the important stuff, Mr. President. Leave the petty feuding to the barbaric media. And that's a memo. Now, for the top story tonight, let's bring in the political guys. Jim Vandehei and Mike Allen join us from Washington. So, Mike, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, what's that all about?
Well, Bill, this is a White House that operates on the rhythms and street sense of a campaign. They want someone to run against. They want a foil. And whether it's the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the biggest business lobbying organization, or Fox News, or insurers, or banks, or Wall Street, the president is most comfortable in that mode. The White House is most comfortable in that mode. So you take the chamber, which calls itself the voice of American business, as you know, has that cathedral-like headquarters right across Lafayette Park from the White House. They're opposing President Obama on all 3 of his top agenda items, on climate, on health care, on financial re-regulation.
Okay, so the U.S. Department, I didn't even know this. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce, pro-business organization, obviously Chamber of Commerce wants commerce. And they say, look, the cap and trade stuff's going to lose jobs. You know, higher taxes on business is going to be crazy. Health care, way too expensive. We don't need a government-run health care. Private industry can do it better. So the Obama administration says, okay, we're going to get these guys? Is that what they're doing, Jim?
I think the plan is, and it's a pretty conventional political tactic, try to diminish and discredit your opponents. And
diminish the U.S. Chamber of Commerce? How does it do that?
They want to diminish it. They want to diminish its clout. Listen, the chamber spends more money lobbying in the last 3 months than the next 18 biggest lobbying organizations combined. It is a behemoth. And they feel if they can try to pull off some of those CEOs and get those CEOs to work directly with the Obama administration and make the chamber less relevant, that they win.
Where does the Chamber of Commerce get its money?
Gets its money from its member companies for the most part, large corporations that give it large sums of money to do various lobbying and advocacy
so it's a
campaigns.
voluntary thing coming in. Now, this is interesting because the Obama administration has managed to peel off General Electric. It's a big company, not doing well. $15 a share, it's unbelievable. So they managed to peel them off by giving them all kinds of favorable treatment, and we know the media game with NBC. So they're trying to to tell the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, if you continue to oppose us, Mike, that we're going to go after other companies and have the companies dump you and come in with us. That's what they're doing?
What they're saying, what they're saying is they don't need the chamber. They're saying we have our own relationships with CEOs. And it's more of a brushback pitch than a war. They say they're still meeting with the chamber, a little bit like they go out and criticize Fox News, and then every day you can watch Robert Gibbs call on Major Garrett in the press room. So there's a
let's take a look
at
at
the world wrestling element of it.
Let's take a look at Fox News. Now, there is no doubt, Jim, that since this war started, Fox News has gained in power and gained in ratings and gained in viewership and every other way. So does that matter to Rahm Emanuel? We understand Rahm Emanuel is behind this. He's the guy that's pushing this. Does it matter that we are prospering because the White House is attacking us? Does that matter to him?
It'll matter if over the long term this whole campaign backfires and in fact Fox gets more viewers.
But it already has.
Independence. What they think is, well, yeah, whatever. We don't care about viewers. This is what the White House would say. We don't care about how many viewers they have. We want to make sure that when Fox News tries to drive a big story like the Acorn story, that the mainstream media doesn't follow that story, or that those independents who might be persuaded by stuff they see on Fox would no longer be persuaded. I'm not saying I agree with the case. That's the case that they make.
All right, but you got to
danger. A lot of Democrats, by the way, that I talked to privately, do not think this is a wise strategy. They think it'll backfire. They think that Obama looks bad when he's playing partisan politics because he's at 56% popularity, and you should play to your strength, which is his popularity.
But here's the disturbing thing to me. I mean, I don't really care about the White House not liking Fox News, I have to tell you. I mean, I don't care. Nobody likes me anyway, so what's the difference, all right? It doesn't matter to me.
Oh, come on, don't be so hard on
Nobody
yourself,
likes
though.
me. Okay, but when you have a situation in Afghanistan where the president hasn't made a decision on troops, when you have unemployment at 10%, when you have a health care thing that's chaotic, to say the least, and every day the White House is talking about Fox News, Mike, it becomes ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Right. Well, Bill, there are clear reasons for this. As Jim mentioned, they want to try to discredit it, inoculate themselves.
All right, but once in a while,
the next big story is.
Once in a while, okay, but come on, they drag in all these crazy lefties for 2.5 hours on Monday. I would have rather seen President Obama concentrate on 2.5 hours with Gates on Afghanistan. Would you, as an American? I don't want him. So he's talking to these loons from the media for 2.5 hours. Hey, do some work in Afghanistan, you know?
All right, and the other thing, Bill, is that they have to whip up their base, going after some of these organizations, help them do that. The left is not going to get what it wants in health care. They're not going to get what they want with financial re-regulation. I doubt that they're going to get what they want on Afghanistan. And so this is one way to do that.
So he just smooched them up for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours with those pinheads. I mean, my God. So he just smooched them up and said, hey, we're not going to give you really all you want, but be nice to us? Is that what it was, Janet?
Well, Mike's point was super important. It is basically, listen, he's going to play to their emotions, not their minds, because he knows darn well that he can't give them what they want on health care, cap and trade, and the next financial regulation. He wants them fired up, and that gets them fired up. Going after you works for them.
Yeah, I know it does. But it doesn't get them ratings anymore. So they got cufflinks and pens, and that's good. All right, gentlemen, thanks very much.